Well, if there's one thing that we know for sure, with 100% certainty, it is that our politicians and the world leaders will not improve the world in the way that we need. The current crisis in the world today is not only the obvious problems like overpopulation in certain areas, pollution, climate change and the immense amount of pollution, ideological warfare and terrorism, and the possibilities of war, any kind of conflict and violation, or even the economic systems that all have problems, especially, the problems within the Eurozone are obvious. We won't go into that. I would love to talk about that one day, but the four problems that we face today that are urgent: overpopulation, pollution, ideological warfare and terrorism, and economic system and structures, finance. These four topics are the most urgent topics of today, yes, but perhaps another topic that is just as important is the fact that our politicians and the world leaders will not improve this. They are not capable of improving it simply because they're not clever enough, they don't know enough. We need more science, we need more real, professional, competent people in politics, or at least in organizations outside of politics that can influence politics. We need a world senate of artists, scientists, philosophers, and real competent people, first-class, top-notch people who can serve as an organization that helps politicians, because politicians are not, they can do 50, 60, 70% of what we need within society. But we need more than that. We need a higher level of education, we need more understanding about the human program, about the relationship between the human mind and language, how we create concepts, how we believe in them, how we end up in ideological conflict and warfare, of course. It's very easy to understand and it's easy to educate people for this topic. We need a world senate. To have it inside the body of the United Nations would be a good idea. The United Nations could constitute or organize a new organization within the United Nations, which could be called the World Senate, because it's very important and it has to happen very soon. We need more knowledge to give to the various regimes in the world, because there are so many regimes that are managed by incompetent people, of course by corrupt people. As we know, 70% of politicians are corrupt, so we know that. And there is the culture of camaraderie, the internal, you scratch my back, I scratch yours culture. The camaraderie networks are also something that really slows down progress. We need real change, we need real modification of global world society. We need improvement, we need to improve global world society, and how to do that? Well, we need to organize and constitute an organization who has the mandate to serve the different countries in the world, to improve infrastructure, to improve cognition, to improve our knowledge about ourselves and about the world, and how we are going to deal with the four most urgent topics like overpopulation, pollution, ideological warfare, and finance. We need a world senate, or we need something. We need an organization, and we need people that are more clever than politicians to influence politicians, because politicians cannot do it by themselves. It's obvious. Angela Merkel is not good enough for Germany and for Europe. Jean-Claude Juncker is absolutely not good enough. And a lot of people, not only in Europe, but all around the world, needs more professional, competent people to help with finding solutions and proper strategies. Because it's possible to help, it's possible to modify everything in an appropriate way, it's possible to improve the world in many ways. But world leaders and politicians has to accept the fact that they need more knowledge. Sometimes they need more clever people, sometimes they need people who has this knowledge, who knows how to do this. So we need something that can help world politics, because world leaders, politicians by themselves are clearly not capable of doing the things that needs to be done. So I hope that within 10 years a World Senate, an organization that works with appropriate information and education worldwide, as a first step, can emerge within the United Nations or in another way.